In Q1 fiscal year 2026, Broadcom reported strong results, with revenue reaching $19.3 billion, up 29% year-over-year. Growth was driven mainly by the semiconductor segment, especially AI chips, where AI revenue more than doubled year-over-year thanks to strong demand from hyperscale data centers and AI infrastructure. Infrastructure software grew slightly, reflecting a stable phase after the VMware acquisition. Operating income reached $8.6 billion, and after expenses and taxes, net income totaled $7.3 billion, representing a 38% net margin. EPS came in at $2.05, slightly above market expectations. Broadcom's revenue has grown consistently over the past few years, rising from about $6.7 billion in Q1 2021, with most of it coming from the semiconductor segment, to $19.3 billion in Q1 fiscal 2026. A major turning point came in 2023, when the company completed its $69 billion acquisition of VMware, which significantly boosted infrastructure software revenue. Since then, software has become an increasingly important part of Broadcom's business, with infrastructure software delivering a CAGR of about 30.5%, compared with 20.6% for semiconductor solutions. On the semiconductor side, AI has become the main growth driver for Broadcom. AI-related revenue has increased rapidly over the past few years, rising from about $1 billion in 2023 to $8.4 billion in Q1 fiscal 2026, with AI now accounting for around 69% of semiconductor revenue. Looking ahead, Broadcom also has a strong AI backlog of about $73 billion expected to be delivered over the next 18 months. Most of this demand comes from custom AI accelerators, or XPUs, followed by AI networking switches and other AI components such as DSPs and optical technologies. CapEx from the top hyperscalers, Amazon, Microsoft, Alphabet, Meta, and Oracle, is growing rapidly and is projected to surpass $650 billion by 2026, with roughly 75% allocated to AI infrastructure, including servers, GPUs, and data centers. This massive investment is driving strong demand for AI infrastructure chips. While NVIDIA remains the dominant beneficiary, Broadcom is emerging as another key player, benefiting from growing demand for custom AI accelerators and networking chips. AMD and Intel are also participating in the market, though their contributions remain smaller compared to NVIDIA and Broadcom. Broadcom's AI momentum continues to accelerate. AI semiconductor revenue reached $8.4 billion in Q1 fiscal 2026, up 106% year-over-year, with guidance pointing to about $10.7 billion in Q2. Driven by massive hyperscaler investment and trillion-parameter AI models, Broadcom believes its AI chip revenue could surpass $100 billion by 2027, representing nearly five-fold growth in just 2 years. A key advantage comes from custom AI accelerators, or ASICs, which deliver higher performance per watt and lower total cost of ownership compared to standard GPUs. As hyperscalers increasingly adopt custom silicon, Broadcom could capture around 60% of the AI server ASIC design market by 2027. Broadcom is also deeply embedded within the hyperscaler ecosystem, working with major partners including Google, Meta, OpenAI, Anthropic, ByteDance, and Fujitsu to build next-generation AI infrastructure. At the same time, AI networking is becoming the backbone of large-scale AI clusters, where Broadcom currently holds over 80% of the Ethernet switching market, supported by high-performance chips like the Tomahawk 6 with 102.4 Tbps switching capacity. Broadcom is strengthening its software business through the VMware platform. In Q1 2026, VMware's core business grew 13%, generating about $9.2 billion in total contract value, while maintaining a 93% gross margin thanks to its subscription model. The company is also targeting the growing sovereign cloud market, expected to reach around $80 billion globally, as governments and enterprises demand stronger control over local data. At the same time, Broadcom is integrating security technologies from Symantec and Carbon Black to build a unified zero-trust architecture. VMware is also evolving into a unified AI infrastructure platform, where VCF 9.0 supports virtual machines, containers, and AI workloads, alongside private AI deployments with NVIDIA. However, the strategy also faces pressure from pricing changes and competition from Microsoft, Nutanix, and open-source platforms. Broadcom's operating expenses remained relatively stable at around $2 billion per quarter from 2022 through 2023. However, starting in 2024, total operating expenses jumped sharply to over $5 billion, before gradually stabilizing around $4.50 to $4.80 billion per quarter. The main reason behind this increase was the VMware acquisition completed in late 2023, which significantly raised R&D, administrative costs, and amortization expenses related to acquired intangible assets. Alongside steady revenue growth, Broadcom's net income has also expanded significantly over time. In early 2022, net income stood at around $2.4 billion, corresponding to a net margin of roughly 31%. Profitability gradually improved in the following years. However, in 2024, net income declined sharply and even turned negative in the third quarter, mainly due to accounting adjustments and acquisition-related costs associated with the VMware transaction. Since then, profitability has recovered strongly, reaching about $7.3 billion in Q1 fiscal 2026, with a net margin of roughly 38%, supported by strong demand for AI semiconductors and operating leverage following the VMware integration. From fiscal year 2022 through fiscal year 2026, Broadcom's revenue has expanded steadily and generally aligned with market expectations, reflecting strong demand across AI semiconductors and infrastructure software. Consensus estimates project full-year revenue to reach roughly $98 billion in fiscal 2026, supported by continued hyperscaler AI spending and monetization of the VMware platform. Earnings per share have also trended higher and, in several quarters, have modestly exceeded analyst expectations. Consensus forecasts suggest EPS could reach roughly $10 to $11 in fiscal 2026, reflecting strong operating leverage from Broadcom's high-margin semiconductor and infrastructure software businesses. Broadcom's share price has seen some volatility following its strong AI-driven rally, largely reflecting broader market sentiment and valuation adjustments rather than changes in the company's underlying fundamentals. Despite this, analyst sentiment remains highly positive. Based on consensus from 47 analysts, the average 12-month price target is approximately $467.8, implying about 41% upside from the current price near $330. The bull case reaches around $630, while the bear case is about $360. Overall, analysts maintain a strong buy outlook, reflecting confidence in Broadcom's long-term growth driven by AI, semiconductors, and infrastructure software. Thank you for watching. The information presented in this video reflects opinions at the time of publication and is for informational purposes only. It does not constitute investment advice.